What discovery made 47 women break their silence? Women kept canceling memberships at our gym, and I couldn't figure out why until it was almost too late. I'd been working the front desk at a gym for 3 years, and something was seriously wrong. We'd gone from a 50-50 gender split to maybe 30% women in just 3 months. The cancellation forms all had vague reasons like trying something new or schedule conflicts, but when Lori left, I knew I had to dig deeper. Lori and I had become friends through spin class, so when she suddenly stopped coming and ignored my texts, it hurt. I finally cornered her at the grocery store and asked why she'd quit. Her whole body tensed up and her eyes filled with tears. She just whispered that I should be careful at work and practically ran away. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about her reaction. The next day, Melissa pulled me aside looking terrified. She'd found a camera hidden in the changing room vent pointing at the lockers. When she told our manager Dave, he laughed and called her paranoid. She showed me the photo on her phone. It was definitely a camera lens. Then she mentioned how Dave's friend Mike was always lurking around despite not being an employee. He had some bogus security consultant title that let him hang out all day during peak women's hours. Once I started asking questions, other women came forward with their own stories. Amy said Mike walked in while she was changing. Jennifer caught him with his phone under her shower stall. Rachel found photos from our gym on creepy websites. Every woman who complained to Dave got dismissed as crazy or jealous. But I didn't care what he said. I was prepared to go over his head. With a dozen testimonies in hand, I spent hours documenting everything and emailed corporate. But things didn't go the way I hoped because corporate replied back that they had no record of any complaints at our location. Turns out Dave had been deleting everything before forwarding it up the chain. And when Dave found out I'd contacted corporate, he called me into his office. He told me to stop spreading rumors about his friend and said these false accusations could ruin Mike's life. He claimed the women were just looking for attention. Then he laughed and said, "Mike just appreciates beautiful women? Is that really such a crime?" He changed my schedule to early morning shifts when barely any women came in after that. The threat was clear. Keep pushing and I'd lose my job. But I couldn't let it go. Lori had been calling women who'd left and giving them my number. Within a week, 47 former members had contacted me with similar stories. Mike had been doing this for over a year with Dave's protection. Sasha's husband worked IT and helped us recover deleted emails from the gym's system showing Dave had buried dozens of complaints. Former employees told us how Dave would brag about protecting Mike from crazy bitches at staff parties. One woman even found Mike's arrest record online for peeping Tom charges. Dave had actually been his character witness in court. The night before we decided to confront them, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Dave's threat about my job and whether I was ready to lose everything. But then I thought about all the women who'd quit in silence and shame and realized I'd rather lose my job than let one more woman go through this. The next day, 15 of us showed up during peak hours. Dave saw us gathering near the free weights and came out of his office looking pissed. Lori started reading from our list of incidents and dates, but Dave immediately started yelling over her about lawsuits and defamation, and even tried to snatch the papers from her hands. That's when things got messy. Mike must have been in the parking lot because Dave had barely finished calling him when he burst through the doors. He went straight for Amy, calling her a lying bitch, and that's when she lost it. She pulled out printed photos she'd found of herself online, changing in the locker room, and shoved them in his face, screaming, "Explain these then!" Mike's face went white and he tried to grab the photos, but Amy's husband jumped between them. Other people in the gym were watching now, totally confused. Someone called the police while Mike and Dave were shouting at us to get out. Dave actually tried to physically push us toward the door, but we wouldn't budge. When the cops showed up, it was chaos. People were yelling and pointing and trying to explain, but when Amy showed them the photos and we mentioned the hidden camera, everything changed. They separated Mike and Dave from us and started asking real questions. The investigation uncovered hundreds of videos and thousands of photos of women changing, showering, and using the toilet. Dave had been getting a cut of Mike's online sales to PR verts and voyeur sites. They'd rated women's bodies and talked about which ones would make them the most money. In the end, Mike got 5 years and registered as a SX offender. Dave got 18 months and can't work in fitness again. Corporate fired everyone and installed cameras and keycard access and panic buttons everywhere, but only a third of the women returned. I still work there, but the safe community we'd loved was gone. Those women deserved to be believed the first time.